Hello and welcome to Warhammer Wednesday. This is another Warhammer Wednesday video I thought I'd put up, and this will be my review of the Warhammer World Exclusive sort of codex, book, short story and things called Blood Oath. I got this probably May or June this year when I went to Warhammer World. I totally forgot about it, and a subscriber just out of the blue like 6 months later. This is how excellent YouTube is and how awesome the community is. They sort of reminded me that I had this and whether I was going to still do a review for it sort of 6 months later. And this is what the channel's all about, whether it be knives, bikes, Warhammer. Just put your questions there. You can contact me on Twitter, put a comment on Instagram, things like that. Put questions on there. I'll try my hardest to answer them, and if you've got a request for a video, again, I'll try very hard to sort of do that for you. So this is it. This is the little sort of book. I think it was about £12, which does seem a bit odd because, you know, when I was a child, I think codexes were like £10 or so. So £2 more will get you this, but by all means, it's got a lot less pages. It's about 48 pages in total. Printed in the UK, exclusive to Warhammer World, and it's really an accompaniment to the largest display of Warhammer that Games Workshop have ever made. It's absolutely incredible. It's worth the entry price alone. It's jaw-dropping. I'd strongly suggest, if you're in the UK, to go to Warhammer World just for this battle. There's a Warlord Titan, there's lots of Warhounds, there's just thousands and thousands of miniatures on there. It's just incredible. But I just wish that, because it's not hardback, you know, and it's a supplement, I just wish that they gave you these for free. I think that you should get these with your ticket. But anyway, and enough said about that. So let's have a little look. So this is the Blood Oath, which is the battle for Angelus Prime. And this is pretty much, if you can just see all that, guys, this is the battle. So you've got Chaos Forces. I could mainly see Khorne. I couldn't see Nurgle or Slaanesh or Tzeentch or anything like that. So it's mainly Khorne, a lot of red, some Renegade Knights, some Warhound Titans, one of those big sort of Apocalypse units is called, but it's not got tracks. It's the one with the legs, which is pretty awesome. There's lots of Bloodthirsters just dotted around. Let's carry on. So this just gives you the sort of backstory about this, about Ultramar, Sanctoria's doom, and then this talks about the Knights of House Terran with the Ultramarines and the Mechanicus and the Titan Legions, and it just gives you the map here. There's Sanctoria and there's Macragge, so you can just see, you know, sort of like the distance. And then Macragge, and then you've got Talsa Prime, which is the Deathwatch training world. So there you go. And then the siege begins. So it gives you this huge backstory. We've seen that piece of artwork before. There you go. There's like a soul grinder, I think. My chaos isn't the best, unfortunately, but Purge the Unclean. So you've got some Grey Knights, and there are a load of Grey Knights in the display. There's the man himself, Marneus Calgar, battling Angrath the Unbound, and he's on top of one of the buildings there. They're just having a little duel. Here they are. Look, can you see them? Look, so they're just on top of and it's either the new Bloodthirster model or it's the Forge World model. I think it's the Forge World model. And you got things like this with Heldrake. So what they've gone for is they've gone for like sort of like a snapshot of the battle, with everything stopped and frozen in time. So you've got Angrath swinging his huge axe. You've got this Heldrake breathing fire. You've even got things like this. Look, you've got this Apocalypse missile launcher from a Chaos Reaver Titan firing its barrage all the way over. It would easily reach that Warlord even, because the range is 360 inches, which is just astronomical. Yeah, speaking of which, you've got the Warlord Titan over there. In just sort of like a standard loadout, and then you've got some few drop pods. You've got some Cerastus Knights, and you've got some normal Knights going on. You've got this huge grouping of Chaos Cultists and Siege Fiends, things like that. And then you've got some Grey Knights right at the sort of forefront battling all of these demons. And then here you can just see sort of like the tip there of a Reaver Titan Apocalypse launcher, and then you've got a Thunderhawk there. But this is such a huge, it's so difficult to sort of give you the scale, but this thing is so high, you know, and it's got its own massive room just for the display. It's incredible. I mean, look at all those bikes there, look, you've got a Chaplain on a bike, all those land speeders. There you go, you've got some Grey Knights there. Look at that big action shot with a Storm Talon screaming close to the building. And then you've got all of these demons making their way up this rampart. There you go, it's in the melee of it all. So look, you've got some Chaos Cultists in the sort of Imperial Guard armours that have obviously been converted. And then you've got a Thunderhawk with a sort of like a Reaver Laser Blaster gun battery type thing. It's immense. And you've got all of these demons sort of climbing up the walls. I mean, I don't know whether they would do that. They'd probably rip open a hole in reality and swarm through it rather than going for the, you know, DayZ look. But, oh well, I mean, that's maybe where they got their inspiration from. And there you go, another sort of double page spread. Yeah, absolutely incredible. And there you go. You got so you've got some echoes of war missions. So it gives you sort of reenact famous battles. You've got some new formations. Driving home the spear. One thing I will say about this book is, although it's 12 quid, it's not very well sort of made. As you can see, it's sort of come apart. This is just one of the reasons why I think they should offer it for free rather than actually charge people money for it, because it's just held in with sort of glue in the spine. So, and it's, you know, it should have been stapled, I think, just to give it a bit more sturdiness and longevity. There you go. So you've got these different missions. You get quite a few here. There you go, look at that. And there you go, so you've got a Space Marine Terminator captain fighting off against Chaos. Quite a few Terminators. There's a few that are fallen over or been taken out. Really, really awesome. And here you go, here's some of the new formations then. So you've got the Spear of Sicarius. There you go, here's the rules. So you've got the formations, obviously it has to have Captain Sicarius in, a Chaplain, Command Squad, 6 Tacticals, 2 Devastators, 2 Assaults and 2 Dreadnoughts. So pretty much that is all Tactical Devastator Assault Squads must include 10 models. So it pretty much is a company. You've got there, they must start in drop pods. As soon as they've landed, enemy units within 3 inches suffer D6 Strength 4 AP 5 hits. And then tip of the spear, it can on the turn that it disembarks, they can fire twice in the shooting phase, and then if they choose not to fire, it can charge in the assault phase. So there you go, pretty awesome, that spear. Ultramarines First Company, I've got a captain, chaplain, 10 squads in any combination, so Terminator, Assault, Stern Guard or Vanguard, and 3 Venerable Dreadnoughts. All squads must include 10 models. So again, this is your first company. I'm in a fortunate position that I could do this in my chapter, and what you have, I mean, obviously they're not Ultramarines, but you know, you could use their rules, I suppose. And what these guys get is Paragons of the Imperium. Any friendly units within 6 inches have Stubborn. Veteran Doctrine. All units from the formation can reroll fail to hit rolls in the shooting phase and assault phases of that turn. That's pretty horrific. So there you go. Then you've got Anvil of the Emperor. This is really cool, and I could do this. So Anvil of the Emperor, 1 Battle Titan, so you can have either a Reaver or a Warlord, and then 5 Imperial Knights, which includes the 5 different types. You can have Errant, Paladin, Warden, Gallant or Crusaders, but it doesn't say that you can have Cerastus type knights, so it is literally just your bog standard ones, I suppose, and a Reaver Titan. But the rules are pretty awesome. You've got this Adamantine Hunters. Basically, the Imperial Knights held in reserve after the first game turn. Whenever the Reaver Titan does not move in the movement phase, Imperial Knights can automatically arrive from reserve. Roll a d6, 1 to 2. The Knights come from the table edge to the left of their controlling player's own table edge. On a 3 to 4, they come in on from the right, and a 5 to 6, they can choose left or right. But then they've got this Murderous Crossfire. When an Imperial Knight from this formation makes a shooting attack against a target that the formation's Battle Titan has already fired upon in the same shooting phase, the Knight's range weapons have the Ignores Cover and Twin Link special rules. Ignores Cover and Twin Linked. That's awesome. And you've got a Grey Knights one called the Emperor's Hand Strike Force, which I don't think I could make because it's got a lot. If you've got a Grey Knight army, that's great. I don't think I'll ever get this many though. Got a Brother Captain, a Champion, 3 Strike Squads, 3 Terminator Squads, 2 Interceptors, 2 Brigations, 4 Nemesis Dread Knights, a Paladin, and 2 Purifier Squads. And each squad must have 10 models, so I make that 130. And then you've got the Dread Knights and the Brother Captain and things like that. They get some special rules. Divine Intervention. They must begin the game in Deep Strike Reserve, and when making the reserve rolls, you roll a single roll for the entire formation, which you can choose to re-roll. And then on successful roll, they arrive from reserve. Psychic Strike Force. As long as the Brother Captain is alive, you can harness Warp Charge points on a roll of a 3+. And then Rites of Banishment. Enemy units with the Demon special rule within 6 inches of the unit count their invulnerable saves as being 1 point worse than normal, and it's cumulative with any other modifiers to the enemy unit's invulnerable save, and even can cause a unit to lose its invulnerable save completely. That's pretty awesome. And then you get some for the chaos. So you get the Bloodied Horde. Again, I don't think I'd ever have this. 8 units of Bloodletters, 2 units of Blood Crushers, and 2 Skull Cannons. They have to be Khorne. I'll go through their special rules as well. All units must begin in Deep Strike Reserve, even if the mission does not allow it. And you make, again, it's like the Grey Knights, you make 1 roll for the entire formation, and then they arrive. Demonic Tide. Each time a unit is completely destroyed, roll a d6 on a 4+. You can immediately place a new unit in ongoing reserve that is identical. And they must enter the play from Deep Strike. So that's pretty awesome. You wipe out a complete unit, and then you've got another unit that's just getting ready to warp in. That's awesome. Fist of Khorne. You've got 1 Charybdis Assault Claw, which is sort of shown there. It's just a blurry image in the back. Would have been cool if it was, closer, rather than these guys, because these they're just really old, just terrible models in my opinion, and Chaos just needs a big update. But anyway, the Charybdis Assault Claw is absolutely huge. It's much bigger in person than I thought, and I'm very tempted to get a couple, but they're almost £200, so there we go. But you get one of those Assault Claws and 1 unit of Berserkers, and the Berserkers has to be 20 models in there. But you get a couple of special rules. You get the Meteoric Descent. It arrives by Deep Strike, and you don't rule on the mishap table. Each vehicle or building struck by it, you get a single Strength D Destroyer AP1 hit, and then you land it close to possible. That's pretty sick. You've got a D weapon that's just launched on you. And then Hungry for Blood. Then they must begin the game embarked in the Assault Claw, but it also can charge the same turn that it disembarks from the Assault Claw. So 20 Berserkers just popping out of a Assault Claw. That's pretty awesome. Then you got the last 2. You got a Hellforged Hunting Pack, which looks immense. You have to have a Greater Brass Scorpion of Khorne, which I think is an absolutely fantastic model, and if you can get the paint right on those armour plates, then it's just going to look beautiful. And then you've got to have 8 models chosen in the formation: Defilers, Helldrakes, Forge Fiend, Maulers, Soul Grinders, Blood Slaughterer of Khorne, or a Decimator Demon Engine. They must have Khorne. You get Follow the Alpha Engine. If the Brass Scorpion makes a successful charge, All other models in the formation can roll subsequent failed charge rolls in the assault phase. That's pretty cool. And Swift and Bloodied Vengeance. When each model's destroyed, all other models in the formation gain an extra attack. That's pretty sick. You know, you've got 8 of them and the Brass Scorpion. The way I see that is the Brass Scorpion, if 8 of those models are destroyed, gets an extra 8 attacks. That's awesome. And then finally, you get the Gore Guard, which you get Angrath the Unbound and 8 Bloodthirsters, any combination from the following list. They get Chosen, which means within 18 inches of him, they have Adamantium Will and counterattack and gain an extra attack. That's pretty awesome. Terramade Manifest. If enemy units that fail a fear test caused by a model from this formation suffer 1 wound for each point the test was failed by. No saves of any kind allowed. Wow, that could be horrific. Horrific on your bank balance if you've got 8 Bloodthirsters as well. But there we go. And then the book just sort of ends. So I've gone through every formation, all their rules. I hope that's helped. There's no sort of like extra units that has points value in this book. So it is just like a book that just fleshes out that display and gives you, you know, some more missions and some more formations and things like that. And then it's just got this back previous page as well. So it may not be a must buy, especially if you collect Tau or something like that, or Necrons, but it's a really nice addition to the display. I really enjoyed my time at Warhammer World. I definitely will go back, but I do feel that this could just be given along with your sort of entry ticket as well. But there you go. That is my sort of review of the Blood Oath supplement that you get from Warhammer World. Again, like I said at the start, it was requested, so here it is. Thanks for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.